Turbo 51 over here. I hope you're having a splendid day wherever you are in the world. Guys, it is time for the second round of our third season of F1 2019 Korea mode. We are a lone unit to McLaren, guys. If you guys want to know what happened with the contract signings at the end of Season 2, go back to the previous episode, Episode 1 of Season 3, so you guys can understand what happened between myself and Ferrari, who refused to sign me. We started the season off on a high, getting a 5th place back in Australia, so we're going to try and build on that. Heading into this episode, guys, Racing Point are still the cars to beat, with Haas 2nd, Red Bull 3rd, Williams 4th. Ferrari, Mercedes and Red Bull are basically tied for 5th. 8th it is myself now, ahead of Alfa Romeo, and Scuderia Toro Rosso are still in 10th place. We are the only car this weekend to bring some upgrades, which is very good news well, it's beautiful news to my ears, I'm not gonna lie, because we all know Bahrain is an AI, no longer OP like in F1 2018, but still a track where the AI are very, very, very good and consistent at. As you guys can see here, myself and Devin Butler have not even made it through the second round of the championship, and we are already bashing heads. Devin held me up in my quali pace program in practice too, as I nearly get my front end taken off there by Lando Norris and the Williams. But stuff's very tense between myself and Devin, guys, and yeah. This inner team rivalry is gonna be a season-long one.
Bahrain qualifying is nearly upon us, and the drivers look as if they're all geared up to go. I expect we'll be getting underway very shortly. When it comes to getting lap time out of this circuit, it's traditionally been about maximising top speed. Do you simply remove as much downforce as possible, hang on in the corners and max out down the straights?
Top speed is a key factor for this circuit. Even if you can achieve the same lap time as someone running less wing than you, chances are you'll find overtaking difficult if you have too much drag.
Jumping straight into qualifying, guys. Don't forget to drop a like down below on the video. It's only gonna take you 2 seconds. Thank you very much. I highly appreciate that one. Guys, towards this next part, you guys can already see that getting to the end of our first lap, we are already in last position. 1.4 seconds basically off of the pace, which in my regards from P1 to P20 is so minimal, so it can't be a lot that we need to get into Q2. So heading towards this next run in Q1, guys, I was actually fairly confident.
Okay, let's go.
Thank you, Jeff. Yeah, we are ready to go, guys. Let's go around this beautiful Sakia circuit to see if we can actually get ourselves into Q2 like we did the previous episode in Australia. So guys, heading down the pit straight into the first corner. It's a very, very tight braking zone heading into the first corner. You really have to spot your braking point very easily. First gear short shift all the way up into third gear, then put the power down slowly but surely. Don't mash the throttle because you will spin out heading through T2 and T3. Into T4, guys, it's a very, very uncanny right-hander. It's really a corner that can easily catch you out. Mount the curb on the outside to get the maximum amount of speed coming out of the corner into basically the little S section here at Bahrain. Now into the very, very tight second sector hairpin. You really have to be threading the needle when it comes to the curbs. Through this section, up the hill into one of the tightest braking zones on the calendar. It's very easy to lock a wheel here. With me driving with ABS on, I don't lock wheels, but still, as soon as I one day switch off ABS, that's going to be a problem corner. I already know that. Heading towards the next part, guys, probably my favorite circuit. Oh, Bahrain, Kimi, watch out! Oh no, Kimi frickin' Raikkonen just cost me my lap. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Okay, guys, I'm not mad. I'm totally cheesed off. So I was on such a good lap, and Kimi Raikkonen trying to let me pass at the stupidest place on this track has just cost me a spot in Q2. This is just... I hope Kimi gets a penalty for that. Yep, guys, we're out. I'm not even going to try. We bettered our time by a few thousandths of a second, and we are dead last. Kimi Raikkonen also fell out in Q1, which is only good, but I'm still starting behind him.
I expected a better session, but these things happen from time to time. Try to make up for it in the race.
That's all that we can do, but guys, I'm serious. As soon as I go to overtake Kimi, I'm going to squeeze him off. He is going to deserve that squeeze. But guys, let's get back to the excitement and head straight to the Bahrain Grand Prix. Yeah.
There's something in the Bahrain air tonight, and I'm not just talking about the sand. Our brightest minds have thrust their brightest ideas into the spotlight of the Sakhir circuit this evening as we look ahead once more to a Grand Prix that has thrilled us so consistently in the past. We go racing today around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit, with 15 corners and 2 good passing opportunities into turns 1 and 4. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left tyre into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. With the Grand Prix nearly upon us, Anthony Davidson is by my side once again to offer his perspective. Let's talk about O'Connor. That was a solid result in their last race. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
Well, Weber has a reputation for consistency that goes back to his days in F2. But as we've seen before, being consistent and consistently winning F1 races can be 2 very different things. Every weekend poses its own challenges, and how he deals with those will have more impact than his performance in the last race.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Great work from Lucas Weber yesterday sees him start from pole, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Verstappen, Perez, Lando Norris, and Gasly, Sainz, Bottas, Grosjean, and Sebastian Vettel, Russell, Leclerc, Kevin Magnussen, and Giovinazzi, Ricciardo, Raikkonen, Devon Butler, and Alexander Albon, Kvyat, and O'Connor. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
Guys, if you haven't done it yet and it's your first time feasting your eyes on this beautiful channel, please go down below and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to ding the bell to never miss a future episode. And for you, welcome to the family. Guys, heading into this race, Jeff, I'm going to try and get points, my friend, but it's really going to be hard. Guys, Bahrain, the AI are not OP here anymore, but they are super consistent and they barely make any mistakes. So I'm really going to have to work for this. That's why I'm starting on the hards and going to the mediums. I have to gamble, otherwise we are not going to get what we want. But guys, please jam with me on the formation lap. Yeah. Are you guys ready for the Bahrain Grand Prix, the second round of our 3rd season, as we head to 5 red lights? And it's go, go, go for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Lucas Weber starts on the front row alongside Lewis Hamilton with Max Verstappen and P3. You guys can see Lucas already goes to cover off the Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton. As right in the background, actually, his teammate Perez is trying to go up the inside of not just Verstappen, but Lando Norris as well. But Lando Norris got a brilliant launch off of the line, and he has put his Williams in P3 and ahead of the Ferrari of Max Verstappen. So you guys can see Lando goes a bit defensive there in the background. He has kept, he has put that Williams in a beautiful place. Let's jump back to his POV for his start, guys. This was an absolutely beautiful start coming off of the line. So you guys see, he goes to the outside immediately, tries to go around the outside here of Max, struggles a bit to get something going for himself, but he still goes around the outside, and as they head through T2, this little kink actually, him and Max make contact, and you guys can see Lando threw his hand up in the air, being like, Max, what the hell? Give me some space, my man. And guys, that is Lando up into P3. A beautiful start there from the young Brit. And you guys see, heading back to my start, obviously we're on the hard tires, and basically everybody else is on the soft tire. So I knew coming off the line, I was going to basically just have to ease into it. Heading into the first quarter, guys, I nearly ran into the back of one of the Toro Rossos as I dive bombed them and my teammate to go side by side with Daniel Ricciardo, but he shoves me out, leaves me to dry on that outside curb, and immediately I am under pressure from the cars behind. But that was a very good move there as I go up the inside of Ricciardo heading into T4. He was a little bit held up by the cars ahead of him. I squeeze out Ricciardo, and guys, look who I'm behind. Hello, Kimmy. Guys, that's why this next move, it wasn't planned, I just went for it. I didn't go for it. Yes, I did. And guys, I just shoved Kimi out onto the curb, left him to dry. That is payback for what he did to me in qualifying. And I hope that Renault absolutely eats him up. Because seriously, guys, if I had live comm on for my qualifying run there, you guys would have heard a lot of nasty words. I was speaking very proper French. Very proper French. It was a lot of F words. That's all why I think it was French. But guys, seriously, I was so cheesed off because of what happened there. But you can't have a perfect run every time in qualifying. Sometimes things do go wrong. I just feel that Kimi deserved the penalty there, that he should have started from the back of the grid, not myself. We would have still been on the last row. I mean, I would have been P19. But that was really, really just unsportsmanlike behavior there from Kimi. The rule is you have to leave space if you are not on a flying lap. And he just decided to park his car right on the apex. As you guys see, heading towards the middle of the next lap, I am already under pressure from Daniel Ricciardo, guys. Remember, guys, I'm on the hard tires. These guys are on the softs. It's a double compound difference, and these guys are much faster than myself. And guys, this is already where I realized I made a massive mistake with my tire choice, because I was so much slower than everybody else. By the time the pit stops commenced, I was not going to be in any position to really go for points. So that final stint on my mediums, I was going to have to go for absolute gold and absolutely thrash this car. Well, not thrash the car, please not. I love my papaya orange and blue McLaren. I love you. It's got the #1 on it. Guys, I'm making a heart with my hands. That's probably sounding very gay, but you know what? It's okay. As you guys see, I get past by not 1, not 2, but 3 cars. But you guys can see, I usually defend much harder. I let them pass because I knew they were faster than me, and I was just trying to poach slipstream and DRS off of them, hoping that they would catch the queue ahead of them. So you guys can see Lucas Weber is in a race of his own as Lewis Hamilton is coming under pressure from Lando Norris, as well as Verstappen and Perez fighting in the background. Guys, in that shot, basically the only car that's got the pace to run at the front of the grid is Sergio Perez. As you guys can see, Lando Norris is proving that to be a very, very solid fact. As you guys can see, here comes Lando. He's going for a move around the outside of the 6-time world champion Lewis Hamilton. Heading through the corner, Lando has got the inside as we head into the SS, and he is on the softer tire. So that is Lando Norris up into P2 of the Bahrain Grand Prix. So you guys can see heading to the rewinding back to my race as Kimi Räikkönen is going for a dive up the inside. I think that is Danny Kvyat or it's Albon. It's one of the two. But I was just sitting behind them as they both passed the Daniel Ricciardo. And at this stage, these guys were holding each other up so much. I just said, you know what, bug it. I'm gonna go for the move. Went up the inside of Daniel and was now trying to hold on to Kimi. And whichever Toro Rosso that was, I think it is Kvyat, but I am not 100% certain. Going back to the leaders, guys, you guys can see here, this is Sergio Perez going for a move here on Max Verstappen, as also Hamilton is trying to get back his P2 from Lando Norris through T1. Sergio is on the softer tire when it comes to him and Max Verstappen. Hamilton is once again back ahead of Lando, and now Lando's going to try and come back at Lewis, but Lewis defends his line beautifully, and that's Hamilton back up into P2. With Perez now in P4. So you guys see it going back to this little battle as Kvyat. Is it actually Kvyat? Yeah, no, guys, that's actually Albon. It's Albon and Räikkönen going side by side with myself right behind them. They are still side by side heading into this little S section. And as you guys see, I try and look on the outside, go to the inside, and it's a double dive bomb there from my side. Guys, the only reason I also did that is I hoped that me and Albon would like sandwich Kimi. But at this stage, Kimi is left out to dry on the outside as I have just, ooh, that's a little bit of a corner cut there. Shh, shh, you guys saw nothing. Shh. You didn't say anything. As you guys see that now, these two are still battling hammer and tong, but finally Kimi gets the better of Alexander Albon, and that is Kimi now. We are fighting over P15. So he is now into P16. That's how far down the grid I am, guys. But this is the battle we have to look after, guys. The second, third, fourth, and fifth place men. At this stage, it's 3 cars battling for second place. Actually 4. But it is Lewis Hamilton trying to defend now. Not just from Lando Norris, but from the charging racing point of Checo himself, Sergio Perez. Heading into the first quarter, we've got a 3-wide moment heading into the first quarter. As Hamilton tries to hang around the outside, but he is just not good enough on the brakes. And Lando at this stage keeps his position from Sergio. But guys, then we move on to the next lap. The end of lap 6, the start of lap 7. And this is Sergio Perez just saying, oi man, it is time. As you guys see in the background, actually Max Verstappen also got past Lewis. So now Max has also joined the fray of this fight. As you guys see, that's now Perez up into P2. With his teammate Lucas Weber basically out of sight. Because Lucas is driving like an absolute animal. Jumping back, guys, to this battle between myself, Kimi Räikkönen, and Alexander Albon. You guys can see Kimi goes for the move once again. I tuck up right behind him in a slipstream to try and defend my P15, guys. We are really battling for the wooden spoon, but Kimi gets the move done beautifully. So you guys see here, this is now once again Max Verstappen going for a move. Well, not once again, but this is Max Verstappen going for a move on Lando Norris. Now that Sergio Perez is starting to run away from them, that is Max now getting that beautiful red Ferrari up into P3. Jumping onto the end of the next lap, guys, we are now, I think, starting lap 9. Now, once again, the tides have turned into the favor of Lando Norris, as Lando Norris goes for a move up the inside. He is very, very good onto the brakes heading into this first corner, but Max hangs around the outside. He's going to put that Ferrari there. Guys, Max still wants to challenge for the championship, and it's still early days. But I'm not going to lie, guys, my honest opinion, at this stage, Racing Point are uncatchable. And if they keep upgrading that car like they did last season, there's no way any of us are catching Racing Point. So Max is really going to have good development with Ferrari, and he's going to have to push like an absolute stabbed rat. As you guys can see, heading into the pit lane, this is actually my former teammate, Mr. Romain Grosjean. I nearly said teammate of mine again. I'm still used to Grosjean being my teammate, not that bloody buffoon, Devin Butler. But in any case, Butler, guys, after that incident in practice, this just wasn't a good weekend for me in general. I had to practice with Devin in practice too. In quali, Kimi completely ruined my qualifying, and now in the race, I've even gambled on the wrong strategy. So you guys can think just how I felt at this stage of the race. I was just absolutely, as they would say in Afrikaans, I was moedeloos. I was just out of it. I didn't really care. I still pushed with everything I had. Don't get me wrong. You guys know me. I will never give up. But I was just so down in the dumps of this absolute atrocity of a weekend. I just wanted this race to be over. I'm not going to lie. This is the first race, I think, ever on F1 2019 that I have not enjoyed because of everything that went wrong. It's not that I didn't like it. Let me put it to you guys this way. Before some of you guys think the wrong thing. I did not enjoy the game. I just didn't enjoy this specific race because of my luck. But the wheel-to-wheel racing that I had, the action that I had, it's always enjoyable. I mean, I'm racing crazy. I'm F1 crazy. This was still a very enjoyable Grand Prix. I just didn't enjoy about half of it. The second half felt good when as you guys see, as soon as I come into the pit lane to strap on my mediums, I had better pace and I had more consistency. But those hards in the beginning of the race was just an absolutely stupid move to make. But so you guys see all the pit stops are commencing. Lucas Weber, or is this Perez? No, this is actually Perez, guys. These guys have stretched their softs all the way up to lap 12. So they are going to be able to do a one-stop from softs onto mediums, which is absolutely perfect. It is by far the quickest strategy. And this has just been an absolute... This is starting to be a breeze for Racing Point. Because both of their cars, just like back in Australia, are 1-2. With the one being my former F2 teammate dominating and being unmatched this whole race. So yeah, as you guys see here, this is Carlos Sainz actually jumping Lando Norris within the pit stop phases. Here is Sebastian Vettel battling away with Ooh, excuse that was a hiccup. Battling away with Valtteri Bottas, and they are just behind Lando Norris. But actually now, this is the race leader, taking his soft tires all the way to bloody lap 13. That's what clean air can do for you when you're not battling. Bloody hell, guys, even my hard tires at lap 13 were starting to feel like freaking 50 lap all tires. I was just so frustrated. Guys, my frustration, it is not explainable. I can tell you guys now, there was a few times in this races where I'm glad I wasn't live com because I would have broken my mic by just the amount of screaming that I did. If you guys want an example, I would literally sometimes, like especially in the beginning of the race when Kimi and Albon kept overtaking me, every time they would overtake me and there was nothing I could do, it would sound something a little bit like this. Ah! If you guys catch my drift. Luckily, as the race went on, we got more comfortable, we got more gelled with the car, and also, guys, Bahrain is not one of my strong circuits, if I can put it that way. I know we won here last season, which was it was a glorious victory here at Bahrain, but we're not having the same luck the third time around. We even had a very solid race here at the first season. No, we did not. I can't remember. I actually think we scored no points. So you guys can see in general, Bahrain is not a good circuit for me. As guys, Lucas Weber is still out in front, just having a blast, just driving his own race, dominating in his own fashion. That is making me so jealous because I know if I was in a Ferrari, I could have been able to match him. But in any case, then it is Sergio Perez P2, myself in P3, but I haven't yet come into the pit lane. Then it's Verstappen P4, Sainz P5, Norris P6, P7 and it is Pierre Gasly, P8 is Lewis Hamilton, P9 is Sebastian Vettel, and then P10, the top 10 is rounded out by the second Mercedes of Valtteri Bottas. There you guys can see heading here, I think this is the end of lap 16, 17, round about there. I finally dove it into the pit lane. I just called it quits on these hard tires. I knew the mediums were not going to go to the end of the stage, but I just thought, you know what, I'm going to eke it out on the mediums, just see how far I can push them, because these hard tires were not doing it for me whatsoever. Strapping on the mediums, guys, you guys can see it's a beautiful, beautiful pit stop there from my beautiful McLaren team. As here we jump onto the POV of my nemesis for this weekend, Mr. Kimi Räikkönen. And as you guys see, he comes past the pit lane and he has passed me once again. So we are still fighting over the bloody wooden spoon, and about 3 laps later, guys, I finally caught up to the back of him, and I just went for a move around the outside. This felt so beautiful, guys, to put him under pressure and just for him to be able to do nothing about it, because I was so much faster on my mediums. It felt good. I'm not gonna lie, it felt good. But guys, once again, I go for the dive up the inside. You guys can see there's a little bit of contact made there, but Kimi tried to squeeze me to go over the inside curb. I refused, and that little bit of wheel banging took place, but nothing that couldn't be handled by the F1 2019 game and the F1 2019 cars. So you guys see, this is our Carlos Sainz in my World Championship winning Rich Energy Haas racing car, going toe-to-toe with Max Verstappen as he gets that car. I think that is now up into P3. Is that P3 or P4? I think they are battling for P3. As now, guys, we take a look here at Mr. Pierre Gasly and my former teammate, Mr. Roman Grosjean. So you guys see that Grosjean makes a beautiful move there on Pierre Gasly. And now this is actually a big fight, guys. We've got a Red Bull. Okay, well, we've got a Haas, a Red Bull, a Williams, a Ferrari, and a Mercedes. Half of the teams on the grid are represented within these 5 cars. Sainz got a beautiful exit out of those final few corners, and he has bolted away. But here comes George Russell in the Williams, trying to go for a move as Max Verstappen is going to make it. Oh, no, it's not Max. It's Charles Leclerc going to make it 3 wide, heading into the final corner, guys. Charles and George get past the Red Bull of Pierre Gasly, as there's now a drag race. Williams versus Ferrari down the main straight. But actually, Charles has got DRS, as now Valtteri is trying to put himself into this fight. It is him, Gasly, and George Russell side by side, 3 wide into the corner. As look at the bravery from Valtteri Bottas as he tries to dive up the inside of Max Verstappen as well, but of Charles Leclerc as well. But Charles has made that move stick for now. As guys, once again, was that actually Vettel who we were looking at there? No, it was Gasly, because I saw the number 10 there on the car. So you guys see, this is actually Mr. Pierre Gasly under pressure from the Renault of Kevin Magnussen. And guys, I can confirm that Gasly did have some sort of problem with his car. One of the top cars on the grid, a car which in my opinion, as Gasly is going slow, guys. Gasly is going slow. He mounts the curb on the inside to stay out of my and Antonio Giovinazzi's way. And that is Pierre Gasly out of the Bahrain Grand Prix. Just like his teammate Sebastian Vettel did last season. He will not finish the Bahrain GP, which is a very big sadness for Red Bull. So you guys see, this is myself battling away with Kevin Magnussen and Antonio Giovinazzi. And this is McLaren v Renault v Alfa Romeo. As we head down the pit straight, you guys see I swerve very violently to the outside. As these guys keep squeezing each other towards the inside, they leave the door on the outside wide open. but they forced it to go on the outside curb. But that is a beautiful double move up into, I don't know what's that, P12, I think. I don't know, P13, around about there. Guys, this is not even for points. This race, like I said, I couldn't wait for this race to be over. As K-Mac tries to come back at me now for the second time. Ooh, I'm not gonna enjoy this. I'm like joking, guys. That was actually an epic sequence of the race, and it felt good to get a double move down. It was just a little bit of that little bit of icing that you get. No, not icing. That little bit of just that little reward you get after a very terrible weekend. That was one of them. As you guys can see, it is still Carlos Sainz v Max Verstappen for P3 on the grid. Yes, they are fighting for P3. Now that I just double checked there on Max's steering wheel, luckily the Ferrari has a nice big display, just like the Racing Point. And as you guys see now, this is once again Max trying to take back P3 for Ferrari, as the basically two Ferrari powered cars are fighting away. When you look back at the normal racing scene, the main Ferrari team versus the midfield Ferrari team, and now Max is still trying to come back at Carlos, but Carlos is just refusing Max to get that Ferrari ahead of the Haas. And guys, I mean, I left Haas with absolutely beautiful cars. Why is the fireworks going off as we head on to the final lap? What? Hashtag glitch. Hashtag glitch. Oh boy, guys. As guys, once again, Max is going to go for the move up the inside for the final time, hopefully in Ferrari's garage. I think for the Ferrari and Haas engineers are having their hands within their hair, pulling their hair out of their skull, because they are just hoping that these two guys don't take each other off, as Carlos tries to get the Haas back in front of Max Verstappen, but there is still nothing happening here. Max has got the outside for the first test, the inside for the second one, and Carlos is just forced to slot in behind Max Verstappen, and that is now Max Verstappen up into P3, guys. But guys, untouchable the entire Grand Prix. Lucas Weber, my former Formula 2 teammate, is going to win his second race in succession, and he is going to come around the final corner to take the win here at Bahrain, as well as the fastest lap, a full amount of points here for Lucas Weber, as he takes the win here at Sakhir for the Bahrain Grand Prix. It's a Racing Point 1-2 with Sergio Perez coming across the line to finish in P2. And will it be Sainz or Verstappen in P3? Let's have a look. It is Max Verstappen still ahead of Carlos Sainz, but heading into the final corner, guys, Sainz is just not close enough to Max. And guys, that'll be a final little bit of let's say regroup for Ferrari as they take P3. Carlos Sainz P4, Lando Norris will come home in P5. Brilliant drive from the Williams driver. P6 is Sebastian Vettel, a weekend for Red Bull to forget. P7 Lewis Hamilton, P8 Charles Leclerc, P9 is my former teammate Romain Grosjean, P10 is the second Mercedes of Valtteri Bottas, P11 is George Russell, and guys, I'm gonna come home in a very sad P12.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Racing Point deserved a win today, and they got it. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, I think it was clear what the main contributing factor out on the track was today: speed. I know it sounds like an obvious thing to say, Crofty, but fast cars win races, and we saw that today with our winner.
And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. It's a good result for Lucas Weber, who extends his advantage at the top of the championship. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
I have to give it to O'Connor. There was a lot going on all down the field, but they were the only one who I really felt maximised their potential.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Racing Point continue to run away with it out in front. There was also a strong showing from the Mercedes team today as they make their way up the standings. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula One.
Guys, just like Red Bull, this was a weekend to forget for McLaren. Guys, luckily I know it wasn't just my driving, because Butler also had a torrid weekend. I can remember somewhere during the race, my engineer told me Devon has got some engine issues. He's going to be slow, and qualifying he also fell out in Q1 just like myself. I really think I could have made it through to Q2, but we will never know thanks to the flying Finn, Kimi Räikkönen. But yeah guys, this has really been a weekend to forget, and I hope we can get something going for ourselves when we head to China.
On that result. It's been a tough weekend.
You don't say, Emma, you don't say. Oh, but guys, we can throw this one in the bin. Oh, no, don't throw it in the bin. It was still a very good and action-packed race. We just have to forget about this one as the rest of the season commences. But guys, no points finished. This was actually just a little bit of a reality check for us at McLaren. We are not a front-running car, and we need to build towards that. But guys, that has been this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for staying till the end. If you have not done it yet, please drop a like down below on the video. It's only going to take you 2 seconds, and I give you a big thanks for that one. Second of all, guys, if you enjoyed what you've seen here today, please share this video with your friends. Twitter, Instagram, especially Twitter and Instagram, tag me when you share this because I will give you a shout out in a future video. And but share it everywhere, please. I will highly appreciate that. And finally, guys, if you're not yet part of the channel, what are you doing? Hit the subscribe down below. Don't forget to ding the bell to never miss a future episode, as we have all your project cars to F1 2019 and Dirt 4 needs met. I'll see you guys for the next round in China. Cheers!